gesturing to the shimmering, ill-fitting polyester. Russell didn't blink. It's the future, Deborah. You haven't seen it on these shores yet. It's all about the compressed silhouette. It symbolizes the constriction of the modern male in a post-industrial landscape. Deborah scribbled something in her notebook. And you're 38? 38 and loving it. Russell lied, his voice a full octave higher than usual because the waistband was cutting off his circulation. By the way, I'm also a board member of the Gentle Embrace Society. We work with literacy and occasionally very stylish lepers. Chapter 26, The Drake Maneuver. Jen's plan to use Drake, the handsome but dim-witted ex-boyfriend, to make Adam jealous had been a spectacular failure. Not only was Adam not jealous, but he and Drake were currently inseparable. I'm telling you, Jen, Adam said as they sat at the diner. Drake is a visionary. We're going to the Rubenstein bar mitzvah tonight. They have a hot dog cart. Adam, you can't go to a stranger's bar mitzvah just because they have a hot dog cart, Jen said, rubbing her temples. And why are you hanging out with my ex-boyfriend? Because he's 6'4". Jen, do you know how hard it is to find a guy I don't have to look down at? My neck feels amazing. The night of the bar mitzvah was a disaster of a different kind. Jeff had managed to sneak in, hoping to score a few free dogs before his optimal male resolve crumbled entirely. He found Adam and Drake standing by the cart, arguing over the merits of spicy mustard versus sauerkraut. It's about the snap. Adam, Drake shouted, gesturing wildly with a frankfurter. If the dog doesn't snap, the boy doesn't become a man. Words to live by, Adam agreed, nodding solemnly. Jeff, hiding behind a floral arrangement, watched as Audrey walked in, her face a mask of pure, concentrated disappointment. Jeff, she said, her voice dropping to that terrifyingly calm level. I thought you were at the gym. I am at the gym. Odd, Jeff lied, his mouth full of bun. This is the Rubenstein gym. We're doing high-repetition bicep curls with meat-filled tubes. Chapter 27, The Jerky Investigation. The mystery of the missing meat had reached a fever pitch. Jeff had spent 3 days convinced the doorman was the mastermind behind a high-end jerky heist. He had even started keeping a meat journal to track delivery times and the doorman's facial expressions. Look at him, Audrey, Jeff whispered, pointing at the security monitor. He's chewing. Why is he chewing? Doormen aren't supposed to chew unless they've successfully stolen a shipment of artisanal teriyaki beef strips. He's probably chewing gum, Jeff, Audrey said, not looking up from her book. That's what he wants us to think. It's the perfect cover. The truth came out when Russell strolled in, holding a half-emptied bag of jerky. Hey, Jeff, Russell said, grabbing a handful. Thanks for the snacks in the trunk of your convertible. It was a little dusty, but the smoke flavor really came through. Jeff stared at him. You were the jerky thief? Thief is a strong word. Russell shrugged. I prefer mobile snack coordinator. By the way, The doorman told me to tell you to stop staring at him. He says it's creepy and weird. Chapter 28, The Final Rules. As the month came to a close, the engagement rules were as stable as a Jenga tower in a hurricane. Adam and Jen were still engaged, though Adam was now the proud owner of several compressed silhouette suits. Jeff and Audrey were still married, though Jeff was currently banned from all bar mitzvahs within a 5-block radius. And Russell was still Russell, a man who could talk his way out of a leprosy fundraiser and into a magazine feature. They gathered on the roof one last time, the city lights reflecting in their beer bottles. To the rules, Jeff said, raising his glass, "May we always break them, and may Audrey always forgive me for it." To the hot dog cart, Adam added, "May it always be snaptastic." And to being average, Audrey smiled, leaning her head on Jeff's shoulder. Because in a city this crazy, average is the only thing that's real. The city hummed around them, a vast jungle of secrets and shared satellite dishes. They didn't have all the answers, but they had each other. And in New York City, that was the most important rule of all. Novelization notes. This concludes the comprehensive adaptation of the Rules of Engagement transcript, capturing the wit, the warmth, and the utter absurdity of their lives in Manhattan. Rules of Engagement, a novelization of life, marriage, and the pursuit of the perfect waffle. Chapter 1, The Syrup Protocol. The morning sun over Manhattan always had a way of making the interior of the diner look like a staged set for a play about midlife complacency. The smell of burnt decaf and industrial strength maple syrup hung heavy in the air, a scent that Jeff Bingham had come to associate with the bedrock of his existence. To Jeff, the diner wasn't just a place to eat. It was a sanctuary of routine, a place where the chaos of the city outside was filtered through the comforting clatter of porcelain plates and the reliable rhythm of a revolving toaster. Jeff sat across from his wife, Audrey. They had been married for 12 years, a span of time that, in New York years, was equivalent to 3 lifetimes and several minor wars. Jeff was currently engaged in what he considered a delicate engineering project, his breakfast. He held the plastic syrup dispenser with the steady hand of a diamond cutter, his eyes narrowed in intense concentration. "What are you doing?" Audrey asked, her voice tinged with that specific brand of weary curiosity that only long-term spouses possess. She had seen this 1,000 times, yet the sheer dedication Jeff brought to his waffles never ceased to fascinate and slightly alarm her. Jeff didn't look up. He was focused on the 3rd row of the grid. "I like to fill up each little waffle hole with syrup. It's about distribution, Audrey, consistency. If one hole is dry, the entire structural integrity of the bite is compromised. It's a matter of physics and flavor equity." Audrey leaned back, watching the methodical drip. "Really, this is going to be happening for the rest of our lives. Every Sunday, I have to watch you perform surgery on a frozen egg derivative." Jeff paused, the syrup string snapping. He looked at her with genuine surprise. Well, how do you do it? You just pour it on like a savage, like a woman who doesn't care about the future, like someone who welcomes chaos into her digestive tract. Audrey gestured to